Hi there, my name is Blessing Ekunayo. I'm a doctor, a mental health practitioner here in New Zealand. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Relationship and Health Matters with Dudu Shewa. Alright, so on this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 reasons why your sleep is poor. So, you may have clicked on this video because you're struggling with poor sleep. Maybe you're struggling to fall asleep, okay? What we call initial insomnia. So when you struggle to fall asleep or you struggle to have a really sound sleep, we call it insomnia. That's the medical term, right? So some people struggle to fall asleep. Some people actually struggle to continue to sleep, so stay asleep. For example, they fall asleep but they have broken sleeps. Whatever your whether it's initial or whether it's continuous, it's something that is we still call it insomnia, right? And it's something that I'm sure gives you a lot of concern, because when people struggle with insomnia, it means that they are likely to wake up feeling unrefreshed, with the sleep, so poorly refreshed, not refreshed at all, to be honest, or sometimes some people actually wake up and they have very low energy to run through the day. Others also who have poor sleep, it affects their mood, it impacts on their mood, and you realize that you could sometimes feel very grumpy, very annoyed, easily irritable, because you are not sleeping well, you're not sleeping right. So I'm going to be sharing with you 7 reasons why this may be the case. Number 1 on the list is because you're feeling very stressed. Yes, stress is one of the major causes of poor sleep. And the stress could be from different sources. Say, school work is overwhelming. You're trying to sort of keep on top of the demands that you have at school. It could be at work also, the pressure at work and, the expectations from you at work. And that is taking a toll on you emotionally and getting you to sort of struggle to fall asleep. It could also be due to, some other reasons, some psychosocial reasons. For example, you lose your job, and you're wondering, oh my goodness, how am I going to meet up with the financial demands that I have without a source of income? That will cause a lot of stress for you mentally. Or maybe because you have lost a loved one, or you've just gone through a really rough divorce. So all sorts of stress, whatever the source is, can lead to you not being able to have a really good sleep. So that's number 1. Number 2, the second reason why you may be struggling to sleep properly is because you have poor sleeping habits. And what do I mean by poor sleeping habits? Some of us, we have this habit where our bed is like our comfort zone. That's where we watch our movies. That's where we are always on our phone scrolling on different platforms of our social media. And we do this so late at night. And by the time we want to sleep, we cannot sleep because our body has spent all the time watching screens. I'm going to tell you more about this on my next video, where I'm going to be providing you with tips to sleeping well, having a really good proper sleep. And some of us stay up so late doing one thing or the other. One other poor sleeping habit is you eat so late. You're so heavy in your tummy, and by the time you fall asleep or you try to sleep, you're unable to sleep, you're uncomfortable. Or sometimes our bed is not comfortable, our area of sleep is not comfortable, the environment is not comfortable, so that does not make us to sleep well. So yes, that's the second reason. The third reason is because of medical conditions. So you may have been diagnosed with some medical conditions that make your sleep to be really poor. For example, if you have things like heart failure or sleep apnea, or some people with diabetes, that have complications from diabetes, they may struggle to fall asleep. Or people who have asthma, breathing problems, problems with the respiratory tract, yes, they would struggle to also fall asleep or stay asleep, struggle with their sleep. People who have Alzheimer's disease, elderly people, they also have symptoms like insomnia. So these sort of medical conditions and more, high blood pressure, some conditions like that too will make you come down with poor sleep, hypothyroidism, so thyroid problems pretty much. Okay, so that's the third one. Number 4 is some medications. Yes, so while we try to treat some medical conditions to make us feel better, some medications that we use to treat these conditions unfortunately also have side effects, right? And some of the side effects could include things like insomnia, poor sleep, right? So if your doctor prescribes you this kind of medication, it's important to find any medication, ask your doctor what are the side effects, okay? And if it includes poor sleep, if you experience this, let your doctor know. Your doctor could provide you with another medication or something else that can help you to sleep, right? So some over-the-counter medications like antihistamines that people buy, could one of the side effects could be insomnia, and other medications that we use to treat some conditions, like some mental health conditions like antidepressants. Some antidepressants could make you to have insomnia. So the list is unending, right? Just make sure that you you check with your doctor what are the side effects of this medication that you're prescribing to me. So medications, yes, they can cause insomnia. And the next on the list is some mental health conditions. Yes, things like post-traumatic stress disorder, what we call PTSD. People have nightmares. If you've gone through a really traumatic experience, like you were in a fire or you were sexually assaulted or traumatized, these are just examples. And people have this really terrifying experiences, unfortunate experiences. They try to fall asleep, and while they are sleeping, they have nightmares that wakes them up from sleep, and they struggle to go back to sleep, making the whole sleep, the whole night sort of really, really, really rough. People who also suffer from depression, one of the symptoms of severe depression is insomnia. So you could you could be struggling with depression and also have insomnia at the same time as one of the symptoms. So yeah, mental health conditions could predispose you to coming down with this poor sleep. And the 6th on the list is if you're fond of consuming things like that contain caffeine, things that contain nicotine or even alcohol. Yes, it could be one of the reasons why you are not sleeping properly, because nicotine and caffeine are stimulants, and what do stimulants do? They help you to be alert, they keep you awake. All right, things that contain caffeine like coffee, like tea, like Coke, energy drinks, it's advisable that if you have to drink them, avoid taking them in the late afternoons or evenings or nights, because you are likely to stay awake. So yeah, be very, very careful. That might be one of the reasons why you are struggling to sleep properly. Other things like nicotine. So if you smoke cigarettes, this might be one of the reasons why you are struggling to sleep, especially when you take it at nights or late evenings. Also, if you take alcohol, even though alcohol could make you fall asleep, but at the end of the day, the sleep is not going to be refreshing because it distorts the sleep pattern. Right, I'll tell you more on my next episode, so watch out for it. And the last but not the least, the 7th reason for your poor sleep is because you probably travel a lot or your work schedule is just not so great, right? And it might not be your fault. So for example, if you're involved in traveling, I've been experienced that before. When I say travel, I mean across really several time zones. For example, the time difference between Nigeria and New Zealand is about 11 to 12 hours. So if I am traveling from New Zealand to Nigeria, by time it is night in New Zealand when I'm supposed to be falling asleep, it is day or afternoon in Nigeria. And being in Nigeria, I will be so tired, I'll be exhausted, because my body clock, what we medically call the circadian rhythm, is telling me to sleep, but I'm like, it's afternoon, I'm awake, but I'll be really tired. And then when it's actually night and it's time for me to fall asleep in Nigeria, I'm like, oh my god, I am awake, because again, it's day in New Zealand. So the body clock is just messed up because of the wide time zone, and that could be your experience. But not to worry, it does get better once you settle and you're back to your normal destination. When we talk about work schedule, some people do nights and night shifts, and it's not sort of consistent. So you're doing nights today, then going back to day, and it's just your body clock is like, okay, what is going on? When am I supposed to be sleeping? When you do nights, you come back during the day, your body is not used to sleeping at night, sleeping during the day, so you cannot sleep properly. At night again, you're tired, and it just messes up with your body clock. So this could be one of the reasons why you have insomnia. All right, so I've shared with you today 7 reasons why your sleep is poor, and I hope that you have learned 1 or 2 things. Okay, on my next episode, I'm going to be sharing with you tips to help you to sleep really, really well, to have a beautiful and sound sleep. So until I see you next time, my name is Blessing Ekundayo, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel, Relationship and Health Matters with Shower. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.